Good morning, everyone. I'm at the site of the Nova Festival, where tragically over 300 men and women, boys and girls, young partygoers, peaceful, were murdered brutally and cruelly. But here there is a shelter that was brought over, a shelter that many of the survivors fled to in order to find protection from the Hamas terrorists. And when you go into the shelter, you think about the over 40 young boys and girls that were hiding in the shelter, hiding to protect their lives from monsters who invaded their country. And tragically, very few of them managed to come out of this shelter alive. And on the walls and on the ceilings of the shelter, you see messages of remembrance for every one of them that perished in this shelter. And the loving hearts of may their memory be a blessing. And we will always remember you. And you will always be in our hearts. And we will always live on, Am Yisrael Chai. And another message, we will bring back all the hostages. We promise to love and bring Jewish children into the world 10 times more than they hate us for it. And once again, we're reminded of the sacrifice of so many who gave their lives on this day to rescue and save others' lives, even those who are complete strangers. This week's Torah portion is Noach. It's the story of the flood. And the Torah begins by saying Noach was a perfectly righteous person in his generation. And the Rabbi said, what does it mean in his generation? And one opinion says he was only righteous in comparison to the people in his generation. But he was not a real tzaddik, while the other opinion says, no, he was a real tzaddik. And the question is, we're always supposed to give people the benefit of the doubt. Why is it that one rabbi would interpret it to mean that only in comparison to his generation was he righteous, but he was not truly righteous? And the answer given by the Lubavitcher Rabbi is, because the Torah wants to teach us, yes, Noach was righteous, but not the type of righteous person you should try to emulate. Because yes, compared to everyone else, he was righteous, but he was not truly righteous. Because a truly righteous person would not only save his family, he would have saved others from the flood. And therefore, Noach was righteous, but don't emulate him, because Noach allowed his generation to perish. A real righteous person rescues others as well. And I think about those who were dancing here at the Nova, countless young men and women who didn't just seek to flee and save their own lives, but sought to rescue others as well. And many of them saved countless lives, and many of them lost their lives protecting and saving the lives of others. And one story that happened right here in this shelter was the story of Anar Shapiro, a young Nova dancer, a young boy. And he was here, and many of the hostages were lying on the ground in this shelter. And he stood right here at the door, looking out for Hamas terrorists. And when he saw terrorists approaching, they saw that there were young boys and girls hiding here. So they took grenades and threw it into the shelter. And Anar Shapiro stood right here by the door bravely. And he would catch the grenade and throw it back away, toss it away, so it shouldn't injure or harm anyone in the shelter. And he did this once, twice, 3 times. And many in the shelter said, Anar, come in, it's dangerous. Why are you standing by the door? But he said, I have to watch out to protect us from the terrorists. And sure enough, after he caught not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7 grenades that he threw back out at the terrorists, the 8th one came, and he caught it, but it blew up in his hand. And Anar Shapiro lost his life right here in this shelter, but many survived because of him. And that's the heroism that we saw in that day. Where I am standing now in this shelter, or throughout this Nova Festival, there are hundreds and hundreds of tzaddikim, purely righteous people, who were much greater than Noach, didn't think about themselves, thought about others and their lives that they can save. He just came back from a funeral of one of the hostages who didn't come home alive, but tragically came back in a coffin. And that was a 37-year-old captive who was taken hostage from Kibbutz Nir Oz. And his name is Tamir Adar. And his family, his wife, his children, his brothers, sisters, parents, grandparents, all attended his funeral and spoke about him. And how on the morning of October 7th, he said to his wife and kids, "You stay in the shelter." And he ran out to go protect the kibbutz. But tragically, he was murdered by the Hamas terrorists. But he saved countless lives on that day. These were the tzaddikim, much greater than the Noach tzaddik in the Torah, according to our rabbis. And this ground that I'm standing on is the most sacred ground because there was so much love for fellow Jews, so much selflessness, so much devotion, so much sacrifice. And it's a holy, sacred ground in the merit of all the righteous tzaddikim, young, beautiful boys and girls who died here innocently. May we carry on as a Jewish people and be worthy of their tremendous sacrifice to live lives infused with meaning and purpose and love and devotion to one another. Am Yisrael Chai.